Dear viewer, Assalamu alaikum. Usually, I do my video talks in Pashto or in Urdu. Today, I want also to have my opinion expressed in English, particularly about the developing situation in Afghanistan. Zalmay Khalilzad, the US Special Envoy for Afghanistan, has briefed the Afghan president about his engagement with the Taliban, the 6 days engagement with the Taliban. What I see is very disturbing as far as Afghanistan is concerned, or Afghan peace is concerned, and the regional situation is concerned. Looking at the situation, so far Taliban seem to be at dominant positions. They are confidently talking from the position of strength. But who has given this confidence? I think we have to look into it. For the last more than a year or two, the US media, the US different organizations, including the military and the European media, they are building a case for Afghanistan. Initially, they started saying that Taliban have a control over 20%, and gradually they keep on increasing it after every 6 months. Now they say that Taliban have a sway or control or an influence over 70% of the Afghanistan. So this is very ridiculous that 130,000 international troops were there. They failed to stabilize Afghanistan. Now, to get out of that blame, what the American or the international community did, they tried to, project Taliban as a very strong force. And behind them, they blamed two countries or two governments. First, they blame Pakistan, that Pakistan is all behind Afghan Taliban. It is supplying them arms, it is giving them the sanctuaries, it is providing the logistics, etc. And that's the reason that Taliban continue fighting against the international forces in Afghanistan. The second thing they do, they accuse the Afghan government. They build another narrative. 3 simultaneous narratives were being carried on. 1, keeping Taliban at the upper hand. 2, accusing Pakistan for the successes of Taliban on the Afghan land. And 3, accusing the Afghan government, portraying the Afghan government as inefficient, divided, incapable of ruling the country. Even the Afghan National Army, despite the fact that the Afghan National Army is putting a tough resistance since 2014, when the international community, majority of them left Afghanistan. But despite that, the Afghan security forces are being accused as inefficient, doesn't have the fighting spirit, Afghan government is inefficient, it is corrupt, etc. So these 3 narratives were built. Now at the end of this narrative, when these narratives become widespread, what the American did, they accepted almost all the demands of Taliban. First, Taliban were saying, we will never talk to anyone except the American, and Americans say, yes, we are agreeing. They say, we will never sit with the Afghan government, and the American agree to that we will continue to talk, and there will be no representative of the Afghan government or the Afghan people. And 3, all the important prisoners, including Mullah Biradars and the others, Maulvi Fazils, etc., Mullah Khairullah Khairkha, Muhammad Amin, etc., all have been released, and they become part of the negotiating team. So far, Taliban have not accepted a single demand put forward by the American or the Afghan government. Top of it is the ceasefire. They say, we are not agree to it. So far, American also accepted their demand that they will give a final withdrawal period to the Taliban. So now compare this situation with other similar record done regarding peace in Afghanistan. Peshawar Accord failed. Geneva Accord failed, Bonn Accord failed. Why? Look at the Geneva Accord. What in Geneva happened? In Geneva, we saw the Mujahideen on one side of the table and the Soviets were on the other side of the table, and there was the international community. They were the then government of Dr. Najibullah. They were also theirs. What comes as a result of that Geneva Accord? The Russian left Afghanistan. Totally, they just locked the door and went away. The same was done by the American and the other forces. And after fighting for a year or more, the Afghan government collapsed, and the Mujahideen took over Kabul and other parts of the city. Then what happened when the Mujahideen took over? There were seven parties and become 70 factions, 70 groups. All were fighting against each other, and Afghanistan become totally a hotbed for terrorism, militancy, and the entire Afghanistan was destroyed. The destruction which was not done by the Soviet forces was culminated or was done by the Afghan so-called Mujahideen themselves. So what happened? Taliban enters, Taliban took the scenes. To fast forward 2000, 9/11 happened, Taliban were deposed, American came, and there was another agreement, a very important agreement, the Bonn Agreement was signed. So what happened in the Bonn Agreement? All those forces who were fighting against Taliban for the 10 years or 7 years, they were brought into Kabul. Talibans were kept out of it. So here too the Afghan people were not consulted at all. So what happened? We saw 17 years of war against the international community, against the American and against the Afghan. So now, God forbid, if US enter into an agreement with the Taliban and the Afghan government is out of it, so far the Afghan Talibans are not agreed to have a handshake with the Taliban. They can pray together with the Zalmay Khalilzad in Qatar, but they refuse to pray with the Afghan government delegation in UAE. God forbid, what would happen if American left Afghanistan, and if they believe that Taliban will just enter and they will take Kabul, I think they are mistakenly believing it. Afghan government has the capacity, Afghan National Forces has the capacity to keep the important cities against from the Taliban attacks. So far they have done it. So I think what would happen? The same situation will be repeated after as done after Geneva Accord. The Afghan government will keep on fighting till the last moment, and if the Afghan government collapse, it's not that then Taliban will enter the Kabul and they will take it away. No, there will be a number of other smaller groups, like Ismail Khan will have his own militia, the Northern Alliance will have their own militia, Rashid Dostum will have its own militia, Ata Mohammad Noor will have its own militia, and God forbid, this fighting will continue till I think 2030, another 17 or another 20 years of war will be imposed on Afghanistan. So my point is that for God's sake, take this opportunity as a golden opportunity. Bring the Afghan government, if not the government, bring the Afghan diaspora, bring the Afghan elders, bring the Afghan elected members. At least they should be part of the negotiating team. Right at the moment, only two forces are talking to each other. One is the Taliban and one is the American, and both are involved in the genocide of innocent Afghan. American have killed hundreds of thousands of innocent Afghan, whether in the name of terrorism, or whether in the name of militancy, or whether in the name of keeping law and order situation. The same have been done by the Taliban. Taliban have killed, I think, hundreds of thousands of innocent Afghan. They have destroyed the hospitals, they have attacked the education institutions, they have killed the teachers, they have killed the students, they have killed the Afghan military. And now both these, the two elements, the Americans and the Afghan Taliban, who were involved in killing the innocent Afghan, now they are talking to each other, and the subject is how to stabilize Afghanistan. So I think, to me, it is totally a false approach to the Afghan issue. The better it would be that the American and the Taliban, or whosoever, especially Pakistan, Iran, US and Russia, China, etc., they must convince Taliban at least to announce a ceasefire, one, to sit with the Taliban, and there must be a formula. What type of formula? My suggestion would be, let's have a 30-30 approach in the interim setup. In the interim setup, there will be 30% Taliban. In the interim setup, there will be 30% of the Afghan government or the Afghan people, the current administration of the Afghanistan, and 30% take this opportunity as a golden opportunity. Bring the Afghan government, if not the government, bring the Afghan diaspora, bring the Afghan elders, bring the Afghan elected members. At least they should be part of the negotiating team. Right at the moment, only two forces are talking to each other. One is the Taliban and one is the American, and both are involved in the genocide of innocent Afghan. American have killed hundreds of thousands of innocent Afghan, whether in the name of terrorism, or whether in the name of militancy, or whether in the name of keeping law and order situation. The same have been done by the Taliban. Taliban have killed, I think, hundreds of thousands of innocent Afghan. They have destroyed the hospitals. They have attacked the educate is nowhere there. Afghan people are nowhere there. I think it is not going to end the war in Afghanistan. خير دي مصلحة مني